Ladies and gentlemen, to NACL Season 2. We're here in game number 2 of the night as we have vVv, your team in the red, taking on their opponents who I guess need no introduction after their game yesterday. Cognitive Gaming had one of the closest games I have seen all season long. It was epic, it was incredible. Go back and watch it, but maybe you'll have to go back and watch today's game because, oh my goodness, it's going to be good. Cognitive Gaming starting off with pretty much their standard lineup minus the support pick. Diamond will be subbing in. And on the side of vVv, it's a little bit of a more interesting switch up because Chris, the normal top laner for vVv, is actually being subbed out, and Delicious Milk GG is coming in as a jungler. And that means that the traditional jungler for vVv will be subbing out, and there's Get Snuggled up in the top lane as well now. So it's a little bit of an interesting swap up for both teams, but either way, the game is underway, and a pretty safe start for both teams.
All right, and the 5-point spread for both sides. Like you said, safe start, so nothing too crazy going to go on. Just going to be deciding which routes the junglers are going to be going, as Ziploc can do red-blue or blue-red. He's going to look to possibly mirror where Delicious Milk goes and try to counter out his plays. But either way, I kind of want to say we should focus on mid lane, because that LeBlanc Ziggs matchup is so snowball late. It really depends on how you're going to get those lanes rolling, because LeBlanc, if Ziggs is farming effectively against LeBlanc, he's going to be able to outscale and snowballer and snowball that into like something that LeBlanc can't dive through. But if LeBlanc ends up snowballing herself, then she is going to turn into a one-shotting machine like we saw him do to the other support yesterday. And that support had a really rough time.
Alright, so getting into the game, is progressing through the early laning phase. Junglers finishing their first buffs and heading up towards the top half of the map. For now, just trades back in that middle lane. For LeBlanc, it's kind of like maybe you see a Veigar do. You want to trade 2-for-1 potions early on and then use that early sustain advantage to maybe keep your laning opponent from ever being at full health, get a nice jungle gank, and just go for that kill around the level 2, level 3 burst. Top lane, though, talked about how mid can snowball, top can snowball just as hard. Saw that game number 1, Rux just ran a train on Westrice's Shyvana, and see if Get Snuggled can do the same things. And there's that big trade that Zamfira was looking for. Level 2 all in, well, not an all in, but just chunking out Peck and Wolf, forcing out those potions. Yeah,
but he doesn't really care too much. He just chugs one of those biscuits, gets extra 20 health, and then lets everything else sustain right on back up. And they're going to just go back to just same old laning phase. Nothing too crazy, just waiting for the level 3s. Ziploc wondering where he's going to look to go to gank. It looks like he's possibly going to go mid lane. He's hovering around there on that ramp. There are no wards there to spot him out. Here comes Zamfira looking to get the chain, but cannot get it there. There's a counter gank from Delicious Milk, who will get a ton of damage dragging in on that one. The Ignite is not actually dropped there. I thought it was. But the red buff slow does end up forcing out the flash from Admiral Ziploc, who tried to make the play happen, but a good counterplay.
Oh, the flash in through the minion, Zamfira! Almost effortlessly. You can tell that Peck and Wolf was trying to use the minion wave to avoid getting hit there by the Chains of Corruption, but didn't even take that. Just flashed right on in there. First blood, first kill of the game, and a 1v1 for Zamfira.
And that should get the snowball rolling. If he goes back to base now, he'll have his Fiendish Codex, and with the first blood gold, it'll be really good for him and hard for Peking Wolf. We do see a gank down bot right now. Here comes the Xenoblade. It does end up connecting on a diamond. They're going to get the Vault Breaker as well. There's no stun for him, and it will be the Ignite from Gaunty to pick up the kill, as Tails is still just laying into nothing here, but he shields the Piltover Peacemaker, gets some mana back, and a nice play by Delicious Milk to counter out that bot lane overextending.
And keep in mind, that's not only the kill on the diamond, but his flash and ignite as well. So he burned absolutely everything in there and wound up getting burned down. And he used to the fire, but took a little bit too much there.
So, top lane still just that way to fight. They both actually started Doran's shields this time around. No Doran played for the Mectin, while just everybody else went back to base. Kind of got their little bit of a first buy. We do see the makings of that Elder Lizard for Admiral Ziploc. Richie Rich taking a bunch of damage underneath the turret there. That Call of the Meek hit for a truck ton.
And you can see this time it's the Doran's shield for Renekton instead of Doran's blade like Rux started. Rux was going very aggressive, very offense focused, and went for that blade with the Ruined King Renekton in game 1. Worked out very well, but now actually Ignite's going down, forcing that slice out. Oh, and the flash is
playing
well.
chicken. He's playing chicken with him.
That's exactly what happened. Richie Rich had kill potential there if he had flashed in there, but wow. Pounce out there in the mid lane chain. Will it land? No, not going aggressive underneath that turret, but Peckinwolf has been under a lot of pressure this game.
Yeah, and let's see. He's in what time is it? It's 5:40, so we got about a minute and a half left for the buffs to be spawning. We do see Delicious Milk going to be spotted out by a ward. Looks at the wall breaker, kind of out of mana though. So Richie Rich is going to just apply the harass. Burnout on top of him does not have Ignite. I'm pretty sure if he had Ignite, he would have flashed forward and looked to pick up the kill. But he did not at that point, so just going to be content with forcing him to go back to base. Ziploc, knowing that flash is down for Peckinwolf, could look to loop around, possibly pick up a kill. The chain connects, looks for the single silence, gets the 2 chains, but in the end, the satchel charge, that rubber ducky, is going to be able to keep Peckinwolf out of range and alive.
Yeah, you can't keep that rubber ducky down. He's just way too happy about that. And will bounce Peckinwolf back out to safety. Ziploc spending a lot of time mid, kind of went for the NASCAR gank there, where you run out of lanes, you just utilize your ability to turn left a lot, right back around into it. Came back in, but couldn't quite find the kill. Rubber Ducky saves another life. It's a lifesaver.
It is a lifesaver. It's a nice little too. Just like we used to use when we were lifeguards. Aha. Or when I was lifeguard.
Sigs.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's not lifeguard Sigs. That's for Nectar.
Well, it's lifeguard Rex. It's pool party Sigs.
Yeah, he's there to be the Robo Rouser who's like, I don't want to get out of the pool, and then Renekton's like, get out of the pool. And then it's like, okay.
Well, it's not lifeguard Renekton now.
I know.
I'm disappointed.
Sword shirts for Renekton.
It's true. So one day.
The dream. The dream will be true. A team will pick the entire pool party lineup, but Graves is kind of not feasible. We do see Richie Rich actually on the other side, going in to get snuggled right now, doing a ton of damage with that Dragon's Descent. Gonna chase him down with the burnout. Can he pick up the last auto attack for the kill? No. He will be able to heal up to Call Meek and get out of there just in time.
And man, that was a really, really nice bait from Richie Rich. Almost had the kill, but once again gets snuggled, survives. First time he was a little losing out on a game of chicken. This time around, it's Richie Rich trying to bait him out there. Richie Rich really being sneaky up there with a lot of nice sort of mind game plays, but he gets snuggled, still able to sustain in that lane.
All right, so he sustained up enough to where he could lane for the rest of it. And we'll be looking to go back, but Zamfira is now here. Use the Mimic Distortion, does get the tether, the Ignite, and it drops the signal, the auto attack for the last hit on that kill. That's a nice run from Zamfira while down bot. Gaunty looking to go in onto nothing here, but they switch up targets, look to go for Diamond, and they will be able to blow him up, and nothing here is going to be the target. Oh, the snipe comes out, and that's going to be a kill over the Tails. And the most likely the first dragon of the game, going to go over to vVv with some nice counterplay by Delicious Milk.
Now Ziploc is going to be in the area, is waiting right around behind him without taking time to clear those wards. The man drops coming in, might be a little bit ahead of schedule. Going to go down there, looking for the smite, can't find it, but re-engages right onto Delicious Milk.
Zamf is here, but there's so many tanky members as well as everybody alive. He looks for the flash and the distortion onto Gaunty, but cannot find it right now. A flash from Gaunty will keep him alive. Zamfira, trying to juke it out with the Mimic, but could not. I mean, with the distortion, as there was an auto attack to follow it up. So good job by vVv, capitalizing on everything and picking up all the kills that they could at that point. And even the dragon.
Okay, let's just be real. Zamfira just got outplayed. That was a great play by Gaunty, just locking him down with the chain CC. And Zamf missed his chains before he went into that fight. Said, I'm still going to go for that. Didn't have Ignite up, so just went for the damage and was left wanting there at the very end. And so a nice turnaround. Will be 4 kills to vVv versus only 2 on Cognitive.
And they also have that little gold lead at this point, 23,000-ish. We see Pink Horror getting handed over to Zamf. The gold values, we see a lot of it onto currently Zamf because of the kills, as well as a bunch of it onto Tails after that nice bot exchange. So people that need to carry are getting the gold that they need.
It's snuggled back up to that top lane. We've seen Shyvana actually winning this one out. And it's the Shyvana choosing to build offensively as well. Richie Rich and Captain Ziploc, they're not in the laning phase anymore. They're just going to go ahead and take down that red buff. Wait, Delicious, wait, what? Delicious Milk GG just went in, not even trying to steal that red buff, and was forced to flash away.
I can understand that. I think he thought Ziploc was by himself, but, you know, with the communication.
Kind of ward in the bush, though.
That was their ward? I thought that was Cognitive's ward. I'm going blind. It's okay.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it just faded, but if he was going in blind, then that was
very interesting.
It's still a rough bush to go in blind to because, like you said, you don't know who's in there.
It was Cognitive's ward, so he went in blind. He went in thinking he was just Ziploc and he could smite away the red. So
okay, well,
interesting idea. Cost him a flash, so kind of not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. When you don't have support from your top laner, it's always rough running into an unwarded jungle. And now it's I don't even know what to say. That jungle doesn't belong to Delicious Milk anymore. Top lane is getting, I don't know, too many snuggles for Get Snuggled up there. As Richie Rich starting to have his number, is down in CS though, but he's been making it back in plays across the map.
All right, and
has a red buff now too, so.
Oh, that's right, they gave it over to him. Ziploc was backing him up when that happened. So, red buff Shyvana against a nothing Renekton has a much better time. You see, she can use Twin Fangs to apply that red buff as well and do a ton of damage. But still, nothing to go on up there. But down bot, we do have Ziploc positioning for a potential man drop. We do see Vi waiting in the wings. That brush was pink warded, so gonna see what they want to do with this play. The assault and battery is available, if anything. There's no wards in that front brush currently where Gaunty is standing. I'm wondering how long Delicious Milk is going to sit down there. He is being very patient, as you can see, not even moving up to the front brush there for the blue side.
Man, that red buff just tearing through Get Snuggled. True damage, turns out, works pretty well against just about anything but flat health stacking. And while there is some health from the Giant's Belt, the Chain Vest is not going to be effective against that. So Richie Rich in a really good spot, especially after having that red buff in lane. The other lanes, you know, I would say that mid lane was losing, but Zamfira has actually missed a lot of the harass and kill potential on Peckinwolf. It has let him get up to that Chalice of Harmony, which should be in the Fiend's Unholy Grail, and enough magic resistance to keep Zig safe against LeBlanc.
And still, playing it safe, Delicious Milk GG waiting in the wings, does get a nice stun on the tails though.
Oh my.
A ton of damage comes in from Tibbers. Assault and Battery, Solar Flare, that Annie is not going to live. The Grand Skyfall coming in a little bit too late in this position, as Diamond is going to die for free. And Diamonds are not this man's best friend.
Not at all. Bottom lane, not the place you want to be if you're a support player. And especially that Annie has been preyed upon. All 3 deaths coming her way off pretty much the same situation. Delicious Milk GG walks in the lane and a support player dies. And even if it's his own support, you know, I don't think he's too worried about that, because at a total of 4-0 versus 0-4, bottom lane really going to vVv.
All right, and nice little trap spots out. Nothing here, but he's going to go back to farming up the lane. He is currently down a BF sword. He picked up tier 2 boots, and now he's actually down a BT. So he is going to have a really rough time training with Dome Mastery at all if he is going to. But a 3-man push in this mid lane should actually secure the turret, and that'll be their first turret of the game from the side of Cognitive. Actually, the first turret of the game from Cognitive side.
And right in time for Dragon to come back up, so could see that be the next global objective. Delicious Milk GG's headed top lane, man. He's looking for double golems right when Dragon's about to spawn.
Is he going to smite too is the question. We'll see.
It's a big golem, but probably not so. Oh, there he goes. Delicious Milk GG using that smite there. And oh, Zamfira gonna bounce on it. You misses one. Use the ultimate from Mimic Distortion to get in the range, so you only have one chain at that point.
Nice satchel juke by Peckinwolf to get right under there and dodge away from the chains. And we'll see where they want to go from this point. As you said, Dragon coming up very soon. Gonna be in about 10 seconds. And which team's gonna prioritize it, we don't know just yet. We do have Smite coming up for Delicious Milk anytime now. So good look for another play down bot or mid before he makes the swing towards that objective in Dragon.
And now with Tails and Gonti coming up that way as well. Once again, Admiral Ziploc finds himself in the area, but will be forced into a steal situation rather than going for just that straight up fight. There's a lot of support over the wall if Cognitive want to try to stop this, but they lost the first one, lost the second one, and now it's just vVv getting out alive.
So some nice play there by vVv to capitalize and get their second dragon.
I don't know what to say right now other than vVv just not really making super flashy plays or anything, not really fighting
just
big
a calm,
fights,
passive game.
It's just one fight at a time. They get one gank onto bottom lane, kills the support. Another gank onto bottom lane, kills the AD.
support.
Yeah, kills the support, and then they kill the support and AD carry. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Bottom really the focus of the ganking pressure so far, but Richie Rich actually diving underneath the turret, forces out that dominance, and I think that's all he wanted, but might have lagged out just a little bit. So we're going to take a quick moment to pause the game, find out what's going on, and that should allow us to figure out how things are going.
And if we're just going to speculate, it's all going pretty well for vVv, except for, oh, hello there. But we do have a little bit of a farm deficit up top in favor of Get Snuggled. The pause actually looks to be resumed, and will be getting underway as everything seems to have solved itself, and it'll be okay.
All right, so everybody back and ready to go. Richie Rich might have overdove there just a little bit, but does still have that Dragon's Descent, whereas Get Snuggled is not going to be there with that Dominus. Dominus down means that Zemfira might have some kill potential up there underneath the turret, but Delicious Milk GG was right there for the counter gang, so it's a good thing he backed off.
A very, very good thing he backed off, so Skyfall is going to be up relatively soon. Actually, it is up, so we could see a gank anywhere on the map at this point. So everybody being kind of safe, kind of patient, and waiting to see when that cooldown is going to be down. Looking for a little bit of a trade, as well as the Zenith Blade from Leona not connecting. Here comes Admiral Ziploc looking to go in. They force out both flashes from Tails and Gonti. He's going to get stunned up there by that Annie. A ton of damage comes in. Ignite is dropped. They're trying to give it over to their ADC and nothing here. But Ziploc is able to pick up that kill and put himself at 1-0-1. And maybe the second turn of the game could go over to Cog as well. While up top, it looks like flashing forward is Get Snuggled, but the Dragon is going to take him to bed. The Ignite is not enough to pick up the kill, as there will be the 1v1 in favor of Cognitive, as well as their second turret in the bot lane going down. They just need to work on Dragons, and they'll be a-okay.
Yeah, they need to work on that Dragon in the top lane to Richie Rich.
Wow.
Turning it up, picking up a kill, and going back and grabbing his Giant's Belt. After the completed Blade of the Rune King, he rushed that Blade of the Rune King before doing just about anything else. Had some boots there, but nice aggression, paying off, picking up that kill in that 1v1.
I saw the Zenith, and I was like, where's she going? Who's she going on? Then realized it was just a wave, and everybody else went back inside of Cognitive. Dragon's not going to be up for a long old time, and everybody's just kind of pushing their lanes. The only tier 1 left is going to be the top on the side of Cognitives, and the way Get Snuggled is playing, he's not going to be able to make his way up to it because he keeps undying to Shyvana. So we'll see what the plan is for that one. There could be an early 5-man group, though, coming very soon.
Well, if you recall, Delicious Milk GG has been top half of the map most of the time that Richie Rich has been in dive potential, so he's trying to get Snuggled back into the game, but really isn't succeeding too much at that. Top half of the map, once again, kind of being left to itself, and, well, the pressure bottom lane's been working, so hey, if it works, why stop?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's what I was going for, but if it's not broken, then you shouldn't keep it not see, it just
simple sayings, I can help with that.
Exactly, that's why we keep Dan around. So Gonti staying around that bottom lane, protecting Tails, who has been doing, I guess, the best of anyone on vVv, and we really haven't seen the big team fight to really capitalize on that advantage, but top lane, though, Get Snuggled's going to take the scenic route out, knows he's being flanked on the other side, but Delicious Milk GG is going to go ahead and drop that Assault and Battery right on Zemfira.
All right, Snipe comes through as well. The passive does get popped. Zenith Blade comes in. The Super Mega Inferno Bomb. Oh, he tries to juke it out with that distortion, but actually gets hit anyway. They do end up losing one member in nothing here. He will end up falling to that whole team. So really well played by vVv to snag out Zemfira and force him out of the fight and then just pick up another kill on the side.
Ziploc's going to throw a spear on to Get Snuggled, who probably isn't too scared right there. I know he's got a team at his back. Right as I say that, they all run away from him. So it's going to be a blue buff transferred over to Peckinwolf. We'll have to see what he can do with that one. Last auto attack is going to take that down. Actually, it goes for the needlessly large rod instead of completing an Athene's on Holy Grail. And that's something I've seen actually a little bit more is if you do have that 1600 gold, it's a really big price point, so better off to go for it. But man dropping up bottom lane. Nice net backwards onto Ziploc will deter him. Re-engage as well. And it's the last auto attack. I'm not sure if that was a crit or what, but Tails, man, getting in there with so much damage. The chain lashes for the kill. It's a shutdown for Zamfira.
All right, but still, they're having Gonti beat into this one. Timbers comes out as well. Can they slow her down? Can they kill her? No, it looks like Ziggs joins the party, forcing them to flash out and disengage. Zamfira jumps right on back in. Flash forward from Peekaboo, picks up the kill. Try to get onto Annie, does drop his Ignite, takes her down. That's just like Gonti's Ignite, excuse me. He takes her down. He's going to end up falling for this one. Sivir gets the double kill, has a blue buff now, and that was really good for the side of Cognitive, especially with nothing here picking up 2 kills. As Get Snuggled actually looks like he fought up top and got out-traded and forced to go back to base.
Yeah, once again, a win in that matchup for Richie Rich, who is sizably ahead. Though with the itemization to Get Snuggled, should give him enough defensive stats to stay in that lane. But yeah, Cognitive actually coming up pretty big in the bottom lane. It was a 2 for 3, maybe a little bit of an overdive, but in a lane that was previously 0-4 versus 4-0, putting some kills on the board down there, and picking up a couple for themselves.
Withering King completed up there for Richie Rich, so going to be able to chase down Get Snuggled even easier. And Tails, he's got the PD and the BT, so a little bit of a half an item ahead of his opponent, nothing here. So that crit is going to pay off dividends in the next fight if it does end up happening, because Zamfira is very squishy.
He's half an item ahead, but nothing here hasn't been back to base yet.
Yeah, it's 1400 gold.
Yeah, he had that double kill, so that's going to get him
just a little bit more.
Kind of caught up to speed to see if these dragons can go Cognitive's way as well, as now it's actually their turn to start the dragon, but can they finish it is the question. Bomb landing there onto nothing here. Zamp taken down to half health. Will distortion back over the wall. Where do you go? Nothing here. Gonna try to get Ziploc out. He's trying to run around the corner. He's not gonna make it. There's the kill onto Admiral with Ziploc. Nothing here. Kind of piece the scene.
Yeah, that was a good flash. He was actually waiting for it to come up. On the hunt, comes through as well to keep him for a little bit of kiting. Admiral Ziploc does sacrifice himself. Purple star to that man as he was selfless and gave his life for his AD carry.
And you know, Ziploc just got a promotion.
Oh
my God.
Tails gets blown up there. They try to go into Gonti, but he flashes away. That is LeBlanc damage in a nutshell. Just completely decimating Tails.
I don't know, he did a lot more than decimated. Instead of just killing a 10.
Annihilated.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Zamfira starting that snowball rolling, had that DFG and has been using it, putting it to work. 4-2-1. No Medjai's Soul Stealer this game.
I don't expect one. I think he's going to go for the Void Staff next, obviously. And then maybe Death Cap and then possibly the item you said.
And I actually like the choice to go for a Void Staff before Death Cap, because what that does for you says, hey, I'm going to be enough of a threat so that they'll have to build magic resistance, and what do you know, magic resistance doesn't really work when you have a Void Staff, so especially against a Leona, who gets a ton of magic resistance for free from her W equip, it'll be nice to penetrate that, maybe pick up a few easy kills on support.
Maybe that is their plan, we'll see. The dive potential, though, from the side of Cognitive is immense. They have the hunt, they have the Dragon's Descent, they can just dive on them with the man drop. Zamfira, double distortion comes in, and then possible flash timbers from Annie just makes their life a living hell on the side of vVv, as if they do end up getting 2 or 3 people stunned, then it's going to be a really rough fight for them. Could set up perfectly for Zamfira.
Zamp in the mid lane, gonna land that chain, lashing on. There's DFG as well. No distortion to follow because Pekin Wolf's right there. Zamp's just going to throw a little bit more damage down on to Get Snuggled. Doesn't force out that Dominus, but it's still being very aggressive. Looks to get that chain to lash, and a nice distortion away, chunking out both the AP carry and top lane.
Alright, so that DFG combination just doing a ton of damage to everybody that doesn't counter it. And looks like a bit of a group here from the side of Cognitive, excuse me. Looking to push down a tier 2. Pekin Wolf did go back to base. Does end up picking up his Athenes. He's got his Sork Shoes and now a blasting one for the makings of a Death Cap. So looking to get out as much magic damage as possible.
And with the pace of the game kind of slowing down, it's nice to see the ebb and flow of the way things are working out. And while there's no Nami here to make that an appropriate setting, it is kind of nice to see it actually heat up and then go back to business as usual. And it's actually pretty even between both sides. It's about a 2,500 gold difference, which isn't all that much considering this is about the 25-minute mark. I mean, in game number 1, we had a 10,000 gold difference at this point, so Cognitive and vVv, man, Cog just makes for really even games. And as great as it is to see a team that you're a big fan of just stomp through their opposition, it's nice to see both teams really fire back one way or another. We've got possible. No, okay. Bottom lane was looking a little bit questionable. Peckinwolf makes it out alive, but like I was saying, Zemfira is really huge for Cognitive, but it's been the bottom lane this entire time. Tails and Gaunty really been putting up some big numbers, now putting up numbers in the depth column, so their time to shine may have been just that early game because they haven't been doing all that much ever past 20 minutes.
Yeah, the counter initiation from Leona is just so huge. They need to make sure that they can catch out Cognitive in a bad position and abuse that solar flare / gap closing that she has. The Vault Breaker in, Smite comes out, and the Wraith is going to be smote away. Handed over to Delicious Milk, who is actually proving that he has quite a good game this one.
Yeah, nice to see Delicious Milk in the jungle here, especially as a sub, working very well with the roster. Been involved in 7 out of 10 of those kills, and 7's a prime number, so I can't reduce that fraction. I'm trying to do as much math as possible, but I'll just leave it at that. I'll settle by saying most of the kills. He's been there, nice kill participation there. Richie Rich trying to get in there for the battle of the double golems, but loses out on that trade even still. And just look at that Blade of the Ruined King sustaining Richie Rich back up.
So strong, that item on Shyvana. Even with the MR and all the armor he has, it just does nothing to that item. So we're seeing the trap get popped and clearing out. Most of the blue side jungle on the side of vVv is Cognitive as the Vault Breaker comes
in the
to
hole on a Ziploc. I'm not sure why that was used. Maybe just to relieve a little bit of pressure. Ziploc does have some sustain off of that Spirit of the Lizard Elder. No lifesteal, but it gives you health based on the damage that you deal to monsters in the jungle. So,
oh, actually, it's going to be a nice solar flare, but a good flash from Admiral Ziploc does get him out of there. They pop the hunt to give him some speed, and he will be just fine. But it doesn't look like the same as possible for Shyvana. Richie Rich, can he drag his descent? It looks like yes, he gets over the wall. But Baron comes in. There's the bomb. Peckinwolf snipe it out. Richie Rich for that nice kill.
Man, that was, if we had been Korean, that would have been a lot more exciting. Ooh, nice
play.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they yell for Zigzald. Probably just a lot of yelling.
Super Mega Final Bomb!
Man, Dan is basically Korean, guys. You heard it here first.
Plague! Oh my god.
No Plague here. Man, I want to buy Plague for League of Legends. No investors here either. Diamond nothing here. Clearing out vision around that Dragon Pit. 1 second left, and Cognitive are actually the ones to start it up, even though they don't have their top laner alive. Could be a nice turn play by vVv. Dragon getting low. It is taken down. There's Admiral Ziploc, though. Gonna go down as well. 1 for 1 so far, and second time in a row, nothing here is forced to flash over Dragon.
Well, he got the Dragon, so rest in peace, Admiral Ziploc. You will be remembered, but you'll also be respawning in a couple seconds, so you'll be fine. They do look to counter push, though, as they want to take out a tier 2 here, and possibly take the gold lead even further to this turret. And there it goes down. Nice 5-man rotation from vVv after losing out on that Dragon. But another one is chasing them to avenge their fallen comrade. And Richie Rich just going to scare them away.
Speaking of Richie Rich, the ironic thing for me, or somewhat surprising, let's put it that way, is that he died to that Mega Inferno bomb without flashing away from it. I think he thought he was right on the edge and wasn't going to die, but played that one a little bit too close to his chest and wound up dying, even though he had flash left to burn. But that Summoner's going to be up and coming into what I like to call the Baron phase of the game. Anything past 25 minutes, you lose a team fight, it's going to be a Baron, or something worse like an inhibitor. So having that flash up, it's a good thing to have now that he's back alive. And it doesn't actually matter all that much because his team still got the Dragon.
Yep. So
rest in peace, Admiral Ziploc, who died for it. So I'm sure it's a big deal to Ziploc.
He's like, why you let me die, team?
Like, if you had just splashed there, you could have been alive and put on pressure to keep me alive.
No, whoa, hello. Sneaky Baron coming in. This is gonna be interesting to see how the response comes. Yeah, they're just
okay. Zem's at half HP.
Yeah,
time to back off.
Alright, he tanked a little bit too much there. That acid rain and maybe an auto attack from Baron there. Maybe looking to throw at the chains. Oh, Delicious Milk gets caught out there. The Skyfall comes in. Does not matter what you build. Zamfira will blow you up on LeBlanc. Richie Rich picks up the kill on Gaunty. Bob comes in the back. It pops the passer from Zamfira. Richie Rich is leading the charge. The tether connects on to get Snuggle. They dodge the mines. Nice kiting from Tails, though. They try to get the boomerang blade on the side. It's not enough. And Pekin Wolf gets the kill, gets a double, looking for the triple, gets Snuggled. This fight actually turning around on its heels as all the Kolamik is not enough. Zamfira gets 2 chains, looks for the root, pops the single. Can nothing here pick up the kill? No, we cannot. Tails gets the crits, gets the shutdown, and that just turned into a 3-for-2 in favor of vVv when Cog was in a really decisive position there.
That Mega Inferno Bomb made Peckinwolf like the mayor of Value Town. And I realize that title's already taken, but he got so much area of effect off of that really all of a sudden Cognitive was just like, all right, let's go wait. We're gonna back out of here really fast. And even though Zamfira was trying to kite backwards with all those chains of corruption, it just wasn't enough. And nothing here. You can spell shields and bombs, but can't do that to auto attacks. You're not Pantheon.
No. That'd be cool if you, if that shield actually blocks spells and attacks, like maybe one.
No, that'd
one.
be called Wind Wall.
That'd be, well, you know, that's just a broken ability that we never get to see.
It's true. Somewhat unfortunate, but still, we've got the ability to block auto attacks for Ziploc, block spells for nothing here. So combined, those two abilities are basically just like the Wind Wall.
Oh man! But if only Pantheon had that in a passive, a wind shield, per se. But it looks like they're actually just going to be able to pink out, clear some wards, and prep Baron once again. Maybe get Ziploc into a position for another Skyfall. He had a good one in that last fight, but either way, just waiting to see where they want to position out here. But the side of vVv going to be able to clear out some pinks. Nice tether connects. The signal doesn't get popped though. So Zamfira losing out quite a bit of damage there. Here comes the Skyfall again.
Going in right on a Peckinwolf, a Delicious Milk GG.
He can't. Oh no, he actually went down there, but he gets stunned up by Gaunty. Gonna be running away now in the opposite position of his team. There's a nice Timbers to come through. The bomb comes in. Peckinwolf is forced to flash away. Assault Battery comes in through the chain. I was on top of Renekton. They do end up picking up the kill on Ziggs. Nothing here is going crazy. Gets the double kill as Delicious Milk GG was forced to go back. Gaunty and Delicious Milk were the only two to survive that fight. Cognitive just go 2 for 3 and reverse the last fight that just happened, but without their jungler, they can't go for the Baron, so they will just hold back off on that.
Now Zamfira had double jump, double distortion there. Way to the back line.
Dive.
Okay, that's a little bit aggressive.
He did like one more auto attack with a crit. He would have been fine.
Peckinwolf didn't have any fun in that last fight. Got jumped on by Zam. And
couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he really was just like, what do I do at this point? The counterplay that Ziggs has to LeBlanc is basically who can blow the other guy up faster. And Zeb was a little bit ahead in that department. So forced Peckin out, and that just meant that the tank line was left to sort of finish the fight that the carry line started. That's a little bit backwards from the way you'd expect it, but it's nice to see things work out for Cognitive, winning out that fight, but still behind in kills. Starting to pull back in gold.
If we look at the gold, though, it's only a 300 gold deficit, which Cognitive have been behind by a couple thousand pretty much the entire game. So really nice by them to keep the score near, not give up. Zamfira gonna be sniped out here. They force the flash, the Mimic Distortion as well. Gonna set up the close, the bomb!
Oh perfect bomb.
Bomber!
Bomber this.
Is that Bomber from StarCraft? No, that's just Peckinwolf from League of Legends. And now Baron gonna go over to the side of vVv as they initiate this one. I don't think anybody can steal it, but nobody is in position. There's no Skyfall. Actually, is Skyfall available? It looks like it is, but they're gonna not make it in time. Smite comes out, and that will be Delicious Milk securing that one for the side of vVv.
And there you go. The range on the damage abilities, Peckinwolf and Tails. Sometimes you'll see the same comp, but with a Jinx put in there in place of Caitlyn. They both basically have the same idea. It's just long-range damage. You can't dodge away from an ace in the hole. And Zamfira did as much as he possibly could to escape that. He double distortioned, and then he also flashed at the end of it. Still wasn't enough. Great shot there by Peckinwolf.
When you have 5200 range on an ultimate, you're gonna have a nice time trying to snipe somebody out with that. So Peking Wolf demonstrating that range. We do now have a bit of a lull in the action because Cognitive do not want to fight a Baron up vVv, as after that last fight it was kind of a bit of a demonstration of how far they will go to chase down Zamfira.
Red buff's gonna get paused right there. So we're gonna have a brief break to the game, but while we do get things back underway, we're gonna send it back to us here at the desk. And while we are talking to you, we're gonna give you updates about the game. And I think that basically where we are right now is the Baron buff going down isn't the end of the game. It's so close, but without the ability to just really mount a coherent push. I don't know. Who do you really give the advantage to right now? Do you say, well,
obviously vVv.
I mean, that's something you can say, obviously.
But they have Baron and the Ziggs. You can't push it on that.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what to say right now because we've seen big plays in both directions, and I feel like the game kind of swings with Zamfira right here. He's been the big guy to get back into the enemy lines, kill off the enemy carries, try to make it all the way to the back line to be that big playmaker. But he is also kind of making plays in the reverse direction, getting sniped out there by a nice bomb from Peckenwolf and really putting his team on the back foot for now.
Ziploc also has been having some good ultimates himself. He's been trying to initiate these fights. It's just the range on the ultimate is far, and people haven't really been in exact range for him to position that, so kind of splits himself up from the team a long way, and they're just like, Ziploc, we can't get to you. And he's just like, team,
please, come. But that's why you run a Sipper with that composition, so that while Pantheon's way ahead of your team, you can catch up as quickly as possible. The only problem is when that synergy's not there, you're a little bit slower to the party, and Pantheon doesn't like having those parties by himself.
A Pantheon party without friends is no party at all. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's still a party. I've had parties with myself.
Oh, God.
It's pretty good.
Rapid parties.
It's true. They end pretty quickly. But you know what? At least it's not that way for everything.
Well then, as this cast slowly draws to an end, we're going to be looking to see when this game has its exciting moments, as the Baron is kind of keeping Cog away from pushing or aggressing out. So a little bit of lull still while vVv farms up and keeps Cog on the back foot.
Well, there are a few different ways you can use your Baron buff. You can say, hey, we got Baron, let's go push in for an objective. Or you can say, well, we're going to use the first half of the Baron buff to set up for the second half.
Yep.
Namely, you head back to base, you heal up, you get those big items off of all the gold that you get, and now you push down the lane even stronger than ever. And while top lane, once again, was somewhat one-sided, Richie Rich solidly winning that out against Get Snuggled, now he's got some friends to help him win back this lane.
You see how fast the Zamfira distorts himself away. He's like, no, Vi, no, no, no. You see the ball breaker coming, he's just like, distortion, I'm out.
I guess that's what you did to my friends. I'm not letting you do the same thing to me. So just Delicious Milk's just going to deny some extra farm there from the jungle. Wolfcamp not up, so they'll be safe for the time being. Now they just now respawn, but it's time to push that turret.
Yep, and it is going to be very quick to take down, especially with the IEBT PD build coming in, as well as the Last Whisper on Tails. So he's a 4-item Caitlyn that you do not want to tussle with, as he will just crit your face off and make you have a very, very bad time. You won't even get to play the game. And Zamfira needs to watch out for that specifically, because 700 crits on someone who has about 1,400 HP, or actually looks like about 1,800 HP, is not something you want to deal with.
We've got Deathcap, we've got that DFG, but no Void Staff. We were talking about this earlier. The Void Staff is the big item for Zamfira, because that's what allows him to actually deal damage to the tank line, all of which has a ton of magic resistance, and especially Peckenwolf. He knows what's about to happen. He's like, all right, Zamfira is going to come straight for my face, has a Banshee's Veil, an Athene's Unholy Grail, and no Mercury Treads, so not excessive amounts of magic resistance, but it's still going to take a lot to penetrate it. With no Void Staff, it's going to be a rougher job than usual there for Zamfira.
When he does pick up that Void Staff, though, it will be a huge power spike. Actually, Tails.
Excuse me, Tails. Are you okay?
Nothing here. I mean, just got evaporated. I don't know.
Well, Tails is the one that kind of aided in that. There's Ace in the hole as well through the. Okay. All right, Tails. We know you deal damage. You don't have to take half of people's hit bars just to make us believe that. Turret goes down, inhibitor, and that's about the most passive way to take an inhib I've ever seen.
I guess it's like, nothing here, please respond, and then it's just like, alright, push team, and they're like, okay team, and then they just go and get an inhibitor. So, nice job by vVv. I didn't even expect that kill to come out. It's like an instant, it was just like, alright, he's dead, and I'm like, oh.
Well, what you expect to pick up the kills like that are, long-range damage dealers like the Ace in the Hole and Mega Inferno Bomb, but they didn't even have to use any of those.
No.
They just walked up and got burst down, and like you said, very low HP. Spell Shield not in play there. So
does not stop auto attacks.
Yeah, so just getting those crits right where they count. Tails able to pick up a kill and some interesting itemization as well. It's got a Hex Drinker in there as his defensive item. Nice blue buff steal there for Zamfira.
Mama Mortius, Tails, Caitlyn, I can see it. He's
very
confident he's not going to
situational.
die. He's really confident he's not going to die.
He knows that if he's going to die, it's going to be because of magic damage. So wants to go aggressive as well. That's going to deny him the chance at any big defensive item. I'd almost like to see maybe like a Mercurial Scimitar. Gives you that same magic resistance with offense. But this way, it's going to say, hey, I got that big shield. You're not going to burst me down.
Yeah, the Mama Mortius is going to be really nice to see. It's a 350 damage shield or a 300 damage shield, I think.
It's 400 for the Maw, 250 for just the Hex Drinker.
All right, so 400 damage shield. Going to definitely help out with that damage from Zamfira, as well as some of the anti-damage and some Shyvana damage. We do have them pushing down and sieging down the tier 2 in the bot lane. They will snag up that turret. The side of vVv now with 66.6k gold. Looking really strong again, having that nice lead. Gonna use Ziggs to spam out bombs. He's got Banshee's Veil on a blue pod.
How far back is nothing here gonna play this? Ooh, a cancel there on the man drop. It'll be up here in just a second.
They wanted to pop the Banshee's Veil.
Alright, okay, great.
He's gonna look for it again.
It's the small successes, Dan. We gotta take it one step. Oh, 1,500 damage crit there for Tails. I'll think my body's ready for that.
That's just on a range minion, though. That doesn't count.
I mean, okay,
They
fine.
have no armor.
It's still a 4-digit number.
He'll still hit 700 crits on people, but, like, still. Alright,
we're down about half health. There is the man drop. Ooh. Nice stun flash, and in there is the Dragon's Descent as well. A huge solar flare. Wolf gets to the back, but is able to kite backwards, and now the fight turning against Cognitive.
Wow, nice
fight. Charges right back underneath that turret. Nothing here is going to go down, and it's a 5-0 ace for vVv.
That's going to be game 2 of tonight. Going to be going over to vVv over Cognitive as Tails snowballed ridiculously hard. They couldn't get on the Peking Wolf, and Ziploc just couldn't find the time or the place to actually engage for that fight. So really well played by vVv. Tails got ridiculously fed. Peking Wolf got fed as well, and even with the top lane